Welcome back. You're watching globaleye. India's second richest man and the head of the airport to port to power conglomerate is facing charges of bribery and securities fraud in the US. A US court has indicted Gautam Adani, his nephew Sagar Adani, and several other officials who allegedly bribing Indian government officials to obtain solar energy contracts in India. Now, joining us right now is Daniel Silva, who works with Buchalter Law Firm in the United States. Daniel, thank you very much for joining us. Give us a sense of the seriousness of these charges, and when do you think ordinarily this investigation would have begun, and would all the defendants in this case have already been notified about this investigation and given a notice to join the probe?
The investigation would have started years ago, most likely 2 or 3 years ago. Some of these international investigations of complex international frauds, which are what the allegations show, take a very long time. In this case, based on the indictment and the other public information, it's clear that the investigators and prosecutors have obtained cooperators. This is individuals who may have engaged in some type of criminal conduct or assisted in the criminal conduct, and have assisted by providing information, communications, financial transactions, and other insights into the alleged bribery scheme. In terms of how serious this is, it really does not get any more serious than this. There is a widespread multi-hundred million dollar bribery scheme, fraud scheme, securities fraud scheme, and obstruction of the actual investigation in the United States. Regarding your question about whether or not all of the individuals indicted would have been contacted in advance of the indictment, typically, yes, they would have. But at this point, it's unclear whether or not they would have been, especially in light of the allegation that there was a conspiracy to obstruct the investigation. Typically, when that happens, they won't reach out to the people who themselves are attempting to undermine that investigation.
Right. I would also like to ask you about the manner in which some of these cases have been settled in the past. Siemens, for example, Oracle, these are companies which had been charged for bribing officials across the world, including in India. Those cases were eventually settled for millions of dollars. How do you think this could proceed? And do you think eventually this will also reach a settlement?
What's interesting is no entity, no company, whether in the United States, India, or anywhere else in the world, is named in the indictment. What that suggests to me is that the resolution, as you proposed, in the same vein as Siemens,